Puns, funds, and runs. 1987's The Running Man. The government controls the world, the resources are limited, and the people are kept entertained by a show called The Running Man. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's character Ben is now a contestant in The Running Man after being dishonorably discharged from the government state. Now he has to survive a maze of stalkers. So of course, this movie is a 1980s sci-fi movie. It has all the tropes, I would say. This movie is very fun and entertaining. There's a lot of puns in here, but there are about 3 good one-liners that aren't puns that Arnold Schwarzenegger says in here. And for this being a retro sci-fi movie, looking at it today, it's still a good movie. Like I said, it's entertaining. The script is pretty solid. However, there are a few things, like any movie, where the script could have been tightened up in certain places. The pacing was a little off. It was a little scattered at points where characters are rushing to do something or scenes are filmed in a weird way. I mean, ultimately, it is all tied up in a nice, neat little bow by the end. There's a subplot here where there's a group of revolutionaries that are trying to take down the system. And Ben is not really part of this group, but being that his goal to take out the head guy aligns with their motives is the reason why he ends up joining them and kind of helping them kick off their revolution. The action scenes, however, are dated. It's a little stunted because I'm sure this was an ambitious movie and they didn't have the capabilities at the time. Like, there's a scene where he has to fight the chainsaw guy, and at one point the chainsaws weren't even moving in the scene, and it was like, okay. And then it was just like an awkward fight. It wasn't a full-on fight scene. Like, there was tension in the fight to the point where you're like, okay, I don't know if he's gonna win. I don't know how he's gonna win. Is he gonna be? It was none of that. It was just like a straightforward, like, I'm gonna run up and we're gonna tussle and I'm gonna get the upper hand because I have to, because I'm the main character. So there's a bunch of convenient outs for Ben because he has a lot of plot armor in here. Like, the first guy that they fight is Sub-Zero, and this is on an ice rink. They're running around as if that is not slippery. They have on shoes and Sub-Zero has on ice skates, and they're dodging him with shoes on, running around. And I was just like, that wasn't believable that they could take him like that. They had no grip. They had no shoes that was for walking on ice. Like, to make that scene a little bit more believable, one of them should have been taken out and the other one should have been injured before Sub-Zero met his end. So with all the stalkers in the movie, it's kind of the same note when you get to each and every one. I thought there was going to be a bit more difficulty, but Ben just beats them all with simple tricks, and it's like, yeah, that kind of shouldn't work, but at the end of the day, it's still entertaining. And I'm curious to how they're going to treat this in the new Running Man. I don't recall seeing it in a trailer of them having the stalkers, but if they do, I hope they keep the same concept of the stalkers or up them a notch and improve on them. But I really hope they don't leave them out of the film, because that was like the highlight. Like, okay, you got to go through each stage, and once you beat one stalker, then another one comes in, and the next one that comes in is worse than the last one. So I'm just like, oh yeah, that's kind of exciting. And they all have a different technique. Sub-Zero is ice based, so he's on an ice rink. The chainsaw man, he had like a little maze. Fireball had a flamethrower. Dynamo had electricity. So I'd give this a solid 3 out of 5 Running Mans. Script is fairly tight, pacing's good. There's a lot of puns and jokes in here, and it's highly entertaining given the era that it was made in. And just a quick little add-on, this film has some Simpson-esque predictions. They kind of predicted, they were like about 3 years off from the 94 Los Angeles earthquake, in which this story takes place in Los Angeles. I thought that was kind of interesting. There's a lot of propaganda that is had. So that's basically the government lying to the people about certain news stories, and I'm just like, ooh, that's eerily similar to today and a few incidents that we had in recent past. So I thought that was a pretty interesting. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Let me know if you've seen this movie, what you thought about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.